we're going to look at this example for order of operations. We have a lot of parentheses here and a lot of grouping, so we're going to take it through step by step. The first step is you want to obviously look at the parentheses inside all of the rest. You have the brackets, parentheses, brackets again, so we want to just break it down a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of these parentheses, these two that have only one operation in it. So when you're doing order of operations, you really want to make sure that you write everything out each time until you've dealt with it so you don't miss anything. So I have 2 times 2 times 20 times 8 plus 16 times 8. So I'm going to deal with this 4 times 3 that's in parentheses. So 4 times 3 is 12. And I'm going to deal with this 7 times 3 that's also in parentheses. So that's 21. So now I'm going to deal with the other set of parentheses that's within. And I have 20 times 8 and I have 16 times 8. So I need to do those multiplications before I can do the addition. Again, you want to make sure you are writing it every single time so you can see exactly where you are. Now I'm going to deal with the adding in the parentheses before I deal with anything outside. You want to deal with the innermost and then branch off a little bit after that. So now that our inner parentheses are all simplified as much as they can be, we still have grouping symbols, so I'm going to work from the inside parentheses out, remembering that parentheses also means multiplication. So I'm going to deal with the 2 times 288 first. Now I want to deal with my brackets. So I'm going to do that 2 times 12 and 3 times 21 so I can get rid of those bracket signs eventually. Once you deal with what's in the parentheses or complete the multiplication, you don't have to deal with the parentheses anymore. Okay. Again, I still have those brackets left, so I'm going to deal with those before I move on a little bit further out. And now I'm going to multiply that 2 times that 489 because any grouping symbols, if there's a number written right outside of it, all indicate multiplication. It's not just parentheses. Any grouping symbols will indicate multiplication. So I am going to ask for a decimal rounded to the nearest tenth here, but be careful because remember you don't get to use a calculator on this. All of the order of operations on the MCAS are all in the non-calculator section, so we're going to have to do long division here just so I can get an estimation of what this equals. So I'm going to come over here and do 978 divided by 300. So I know 300 goes into 900 once. And then I'm going to subtract 300. And I'm left with 78. And I know 300 doesn't go into 78, but I can put a decimal point. Oops. Why won't this work? And put a 0, and now I can look at it as 780. But putting a decimal point, oh, sorry, that should be a 3. Oh, sorry, I need to go back. I made a huge mistake, so let me fix that. Sorry, guys. 978 divided by 300. 300 goes into 900 3 times, not once. Sorry about that. So 978 minus 900 is the 78. And then, like I was saying, add a decimal and a 0. And make sure you put that decimal up top because we added a decimal down the bottom, so we need to add one up top. Come on, why won't it? Okay. So 300 into 780, we know 300 will go into 700 at least twice. So I'm going to put 3.2 and subtract my 600. And then I'm going to be left with 8.0. I'm not going to go any further than that. 3.2 is a good enough answer for me. So we have approximately 3.2. It's super important to follow the order of operations. Otherwise, you're not going to end up with the right thing.